First base.
Tom Arrington, coach.
McGregor Hines, pitcher.
Coach, you want to tell us a little bit about what you saw out there, other than some really strange things?
There was a lot of strange things, Patty. I got to hand it to our team. Obviously, winning here is a big plus, and I congratulated them first off on what a great job they've done in winning a ball game. I know, early on in a World Series where you're kind of expected to do things, everybody's a little anxious, and I think we were early on. I think our approach wasn't as good at the plate, but on the other side of it, I thought McGregor Hines was fantastic. Coming in there, he pitched his stuff, struck out the first three batters in the top half of the first, and after that, he kind of set a tempo for us, which was great. Fortunately, in the fifth, he ended up, giving up some runs, and I think more importantly than that, it really ran his pitch count up. At that point, we decided to make a move to the staff and lengthen it out a little bit with our good bullpen, and they did a great job.
And McGregor, do you think the start from the Dyersburg pitcher really helped you, because you guys were dealing back and forth for the longest time there, and you think that kind of helped you settle into your groove when you saw that it was going to turn into a pitcher's duel like that for the early parts of the game?
Yes, sir, I agree. Obviously, when both pitchers have their stuff, it brings the competitiveness out of each of us. So, it was only a matter of time before offense kept going from both teams. So.
Mario, obviously you're involved in basically every bizarre play I think that was out there. Tell us what you kind of saw on the play at first when you're chasing the guy around trying to tag him.
Yeah. When Nick threw the ball to me at first base, it was off the line. I thought he made a turn to second and put the tag on him.
Yeah, I guess they thought that he had missed the bag.
Initially, I thought he missed the bag, which is why he was kind of running side to side and avoiding the tag after the fact. And then they ruled that there was no attempt, and I completely agree. There was no attempt in the base runner to try to take second base. So they had him on the base, no attempt, and at that point we said, all right, let's move on.
You kind of cramp up on that last hit?
Yes, the coach has been running us pretty hard.
He was cramping earlier in the game, and unfortunately, it just kind of like I'll hit him all at once. It was in one leg, and then it was in two, and he's not a big runner anyway. So we decided to move to somebody else. But Mario just had a fantastic game, and that especially the home run, getting us back, scoring runs after they do it's paramount in baseball to swing that momentum back to us. It was big. Those runs there solidified a win for McGregor Hines, and I think it's just a well played on their part.
After you go down 4-1 in that,
Fifth.
inning, you put up 4 runs after that. What was the difference, from the first? I know they changed pitchers, but what was the difference for you guys at the plate?
We just battled in the box, had tough at bats, got runners on base, and had hits when we needed them.
Seth Hogeson's obviously a fantastic pitcher, and it became a pitch count issue, I think, at that point. He's hitting the spots really well. I think the umpire did a fantastic job managing the zone on everybody, and early on he was trying to nibble about 4 inches off or so, and he wasn't getting it, and that could take its toll on anybody. And so eventually, once he got tired, I think he ended up with 90 some odd pitches. Once he got tired, he left some balls over the plate, and we were able to capitalize. And once you get into a bullpen situation, I believe that's where our strength is. In our staff, from starters throughout our bullpen, and as you can see tonight, I think we threw out Aaron George after that, did a fantastic job, finished it up with Devin Rodal, and so that was key for us.
Go ahead, buddy.
Your catch catcher, I mean, the snap throw, hits the guy in the helmet, comes back, he catches it.
You-
Ball hits the second baseman in the foot. I mean,
You keep going back to all these plays. I thought it was rather funny too throughout the game. We could have scored early, and we had a ground ball base hit through the hole. It happened to hit Luke Watson in the foot and caromed off his foot, which was an out. We could have scored. Aaron Bond, I believe, was at third base at that time, and then. Brett Wright tries to do a snap throw backdoor at first base, and he hits the guy in the helmet. Nobody knows where it is, and it hung up in the air for a good long time. And Brett finally looked up and caught the ball in the air, and just a lot of stuff like that. That and chasing Mario chasing the runner around at first base for a tag, and there was some mistakes being made, just fine tuning baseball mistakes that are made that maybe not everybody sees, but. It wasn't his sharpest game, but we're certainly very pleased of the work and effort that our players put forth tonight.
go ahead.
And Gregor, how did it feel to be a freshman starting a game here, your first game of the College World Series in front of over 8,000 fans? Just talk about the emotion leading up to that.
I mean, you can ask any player, but I think emotions are high. Emotions are high. You get nervous, you get those butterflies before the game, but I think as soon as you throw that first pitch, you're back to your game plan and you settle down, and that's how I felt. So.
You're kind of hoping it's like, every time you guys would get guys on base and then they turn a double play or a line driver, like, just give me a run.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you get a little anxious because you want runs every inning, but you got to play the game. You got to give credit to Dyersburg. They're not ranked number 2 in the nation for no reason. So I knew it was only a matter of time though with the thin air here in Colorado. But I knew it was only a matter of time, like I said, for offense to get going and attack and be aggressive, and I think it showed after my rough inning. They rose the occasion, and they really came in clutch.
McGregor, I know most of Corey's recruiting pitch is, hey, we come to Grand Junction. So, I mean, I'm sure that's what you were sold on when you get here and realize all of that. I mean, how do you compare what they told you as to what you experienced?
There's no comparison. Obviously, they tell you about the fans and the atmosphere and stuff like that, but you never know until you get here. So it's nothing like I've ever experienced before. So
Made the right choice?
oh yeah.
It's really neat. We have these loyal, real, true, loyal, diehard fans, and we have one that's really special. He ended up getting a San Jack tattoo on the back of his leg, which is just, I told him he was nuts, but funny, good nuts. But we have a lot of loyal fans, and I think anybody out here though is really excited to watch great baseball and have a lot of fun. And I was here all day watching games, and it was remarkable to see everybody enjoying the games, having fun, coming out, bringing their kids, staying for the whole day. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else than Grand Junction right now.